thank you for coming back to the conversation. We're talking to single fathers about what co-parenting looks like, what being present looks like. 3 different generations, 3 very different experiences, and one beautiful conversation. I want to talk about the impact that incarceration had on your fatherhood, Keith, and for you, Donnell, having a father who was incarcerated.
Yes.
Yeah, so my daughter, Samaya, was born while I was incarcerated. So I'm a father first, came from divorce, but it really already had its roots because I was away from her when she was born. So for me, I think as I learned now, my PTSD-ish type of energy came from having someone else tell me my daughter was here. You know, when you grow up, you know, you pray for this chance to hold your child and catch them coming out of the womb.
Yeah.
But for a CO to tell me, a correctional officer to tell me that my daughter was here, you know, that brought the reality that you've done things in life that need to be corrected. You know, so for me, it was just hard. It already brought in a certain level of separation anxiety with us, with all of us. And
so how old were you by the time you got to meet her? Or how old was she?
She was only 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, she was 3 months. I was supposed to get out, but I got delayed. So I guess God had a different plan, because probably if I would have got out and experienced that, I wouldn't have took the incarceration as serious. So since I missed that opportunity, I take it very serious. And I guess from there, every moment with my children became priceless.
Donnell, I saw you shaking your head there, and like you understand, but you understand from the perspective of the child whose father was incarcerated.
Yeah, so for me, he said something as far as like the just trying to figure out what it would have been if it would have been different. So for me, I grew up as a child always thinking that, and becoming a father, I tried to kind of, I guess, make up for the what ifs. What if my dad would have been here for this? What if my dad? And I grew up being able to be fortunate enough to have a stepfather that was present. But it's always that love that's there and that connection that's there with your biological father. And my father was still present over the phone. I got raised over the phone by him.
And that's important, because it's easy just to completely disconnect, but every phone call matters when your father is behind.
But it was just those days, something as simple as this, right? If something happens today and I can't call to tell him, I'm waiting weeks to tell him, and now weeks worth of events have happened, and I might not even be on the same subject of what happened at school or what happened at a basketball game.
I can appreciate that perspective, and I thank you for sharing that and being so open about it. I know something else you all agreed to be open about is what it looks like to date as co-parents. I want to start with you first, Doc, because you were 39 when your firstborn arrived, right? So you were a little bit older by the time you're divorcing and getting back into the dating mix, but you said, I'm just not going to date while I have kids?
Well, my daughters were 9 and 13 when the divorce started. And I said, made a promise myself that I was not going to have women coming in and out of the house with them while they were growing up. And by the time they got of age, and I just had that frank conversation with them, said, hey, babies, it's time for Dad to go date again. 2 weeks later, COVID. And it was like, nobody's coming to the house.
Nobody's coming to the house in COVID, right? So it's just been a long stretch of you still trying to navigate that space.
Well, COVID's passed.
You picked up what he put down, right? He's over it, the daughter's over it, everybody's figured it out in the Doc's place. For you, Keith.
Well, I just got broke up last week from a girlfriend I didn't know I had. But seriously, like you do the same thing, like Doc said. You say I'm not going to date around my children. Yeah. Then your children get 19 and they got more girls than you, so you have to figure it out.
You gonna put your son's business?
Yeah. So like that. For me, it's been hard, because when I didn't have healthy co-parenting, it was like you have these cheerleader women around you that's advocating for you, right? But then as soon as you get healthy, your ex-wife over there too much. So that's what I got broke up with.
I've never heard this term of the cheerleader. Is it yes? Is that something you?
Oh yeah.
Not for me, but I can understand it.
He said, "Don't put that on me."
Don't put that on me. But listen, I don't want. Donnell, you said something during the break that I thought was so touching. You are trying to date because you want to model what love still looks like for young children.
I think it's important on both ends. Me and their mom talk about it. I want them to see their mom be loved on, and vice versa. I think it's important for the children to still. I don't want to deprive them from that experience.
Yeah, you want them to see what it looks like when
and I think
daddy's in love, so that they see.
Super strategic about it. I don't think it's something that you go out there and just kind of throw something at the wall and hope it stick. I think you got to make sure you pray about it and take your time with it and be as strategic in communication with your children as possible.
So does that mean you prefer to date women with children as well?
Because of the number of children I have, me having 4 children at 29, most women that's kind of around my age, if they don't have children, I don't feel like we relate as much. And it's not really realistic all the time for a woman to just come in their 20s and say, I want to be a stepmama for children.
Wow.
I mean, and to be honest with you, I'm not saying it's not possible, but I just try to live in reality a little bit more than that.
The perspective here. Oh my goodness. Listen, this conversation with these fabulous fathers is going to continue. More conversation right after the break. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I really want to thank you for season 3 of Portia. It's because of loyal viewers like you that we keep getting to share this daily dose of positivity all across the country. So just a reminder, I still need you to like, comment, and subscribe. And go ahead and tell your friends. You can catch us now in Orlando, in San Francisco, in Atlanta, and all across the country on Fox Soul. Tell your friends. We'll see you soon on Portia.